All right, all right, all right. Shalom and shalom and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming again with the message. And this message is titled No Respect of Person. No respect of person. We're going to find out really what does that mean? Coming from the standpoint of Yah or spirit, okay? No respect of person. Okay. This is what it says in Colossians and Romans, Colossians chapter 3 and Romans chapter 2. It speaks of the Most High has no respect of person. We're going to cover that today. But you know what? Something I learned. I learned something that I should have learned or I should have known, but I didn't get it, the fullness of it. Even though I hear it all the time, and you hear it out of the voices of other mothers, and and you hear not only of mothers, you hear some men talk about it that we have lost generations, and that the children wasn't left with anything, or they weren't taught, or that all that is a scapegoat to escape from what is righteous. I put it like that. You can sit all day and all night long and blame someone for why the young people are the way that they are, the teenagers are the way that they are, and the young adults are the way that they are. You can even blame the parents for the way that they are. When it all said and done, let me tell you something. It is written. Oh, see, y'all don't 99.9 never been taught that. There is a way that seemeth right, but the way therein is death. You see? Why? I sat back and I was speaking to the Most High last month. I had my first grandson, and I noticed my son's girlfriend and how she's not his girlfriend, she's his wife now. How she has this thing in following the world. She wants AI to tell her how to raise this child. Everything that she does is connected to the phone. She wants to believe that what she needs to know and learn, she should be able to get it every way outside of the protocol that is written. Somebody said, well, which way is it written? It is said that the old shall teach the young. And where you all are messed up from the flow up, and I'm going to tell you, because now I can say something, use a liar from the pit of hell. And it always been a lie, because if it's a lie to me, it's a lie for in every situation. That's how I'm going to see it. It's a lie. Because here it is before me. And I'm watching this young lady take on the system and the world to raise her child, or to see to it that she knows everything to where she don't have to listen to nobody. That's the spirit in her. That's when you sold out to the world. I'm going to tell it like it is. I don't give a rat's behind who don't like it. That's when you have bought into the world and can't nobody tell you nothing. And ain't nobody going to tell you anything. Her mindset is everything she has to find out about a child, it has to be from AI or from a GPT or whatever that stuff is, the system. And the ignorance is not having no idea that that's not the protocol of why Yah created parents. And you got grandparents. That's not supposed to erase us. And you go to the system and you sit and you become the system itself. And the spirit he been talking to me yesterday and today. He said what it is now you know. Because at first I could write that bad boy out. I can write that bad boy up and I can cut a throat with it. But he gave me something even greater. He said the elders were supposed to teach the young. But what has happened is what was prophesied. Children going to be disobedient. They're going to be disrespectful to parents. They're not going to obey parents. They're going to turn their parents in. So they are being exactly what was prophesied, and everybody blaming the parents. See, it's easier to say that it's mother because she's a single mother and she raised, or it's the mother because she's the only one in the house, or even if it's the parents, it's the father and the mother. It's always wanting to put what was prophesied instead of looking at the prophecies and see where we at and where we're going with this thing. No one wants to do that. They want to look at somebody to blame why these children are like this. I had to grip this yesterday. This is why you got lost generations. It's not because the parents wasn't what they supposed to be. At first, they used to use this thing. If these young girls having these babies having these babies, and these single mothers in the home, use a lie from the pit of hell. I can bat your tail up and shoot your tail down. Go 75 years ago. Same thing. They had their babies at 11, 12, 13 years old. Yes. And husband or boyfriend or whatever had a mother over here, a woman over here, a child over here with babies, a child over here. So get somewhere and sit down with that mess. Now I can say something because now it stepped in the realm where I can really put my foot down on that whole thing about beating up parents, trying to make them the problem to what lost generation, especially the mothers. I just taught a lesson about how they disrespect the order. They took woman out when he said, when the gospel is preached, bring her up in it as a memorial, especially if you're doing Passover. They ain't going to do that. See, they don't want to follow the protocol of the Most High Yah. They want to follow their own rules and regulations. And see, they say these children are lost because of these single mothers. Want me to tell you who they are? These are people that's dark. I'm going to tell you the truth. A lot of them are dark. Do you have some mothers out there that's off the whack? You got a lot of them off the whack. But before they was off the whack, guess what it was? It was already prophesied that the children were going to be this way. It never prophesied to you that the parents was going to be that way. The mother's going to be that way. It never prophesied. So where did they get that from? Out of the males not being what they should supposed to be. And they put it on the woman because they wanted to go to every house down the block and around the corner and then come back to each house anytime they get ready till the women got tired of them and put them out. And they use every just reason of why they can't dip and tip and still be able to do whatever they want in that house. And then they turn around and flipped it and said it was the government and the money. Women been lied on, especially the Judah. Them women been lied on for so long. I sit back up and I can pull you 10 verses of prophecy warning you about the children, how they going to do their parents. I can pull 10 verses. I might do that too as a lesson. So what the sick woman that can't see that? So I said to the father, so the protocol from the kingdom has been done away with. Yes. Because I wanted the mothers, the mothers to teach the daughters. I didn't want the father to teach the daughters. He's supposed to teach the daughters how he can love his mother, meaning care for the mother. So the daughter will see what it's supposed to look like for a man to love a woman. And to be in oneness. How can the daughter see a oneness when the father's going down here? He got 1 million kids here. He got 1 million kids here. And he comes see her once every 3 or 4 years. How could these daughters get out here and see anything about a man when their daddy didn't stay his tail still to show them and bring them up and train them up in the way that they should go? See, they bypass all that. All of you all do. That's why I said, don't come trying to tell me nothing. Too many of you all are sick. And I sit back and I watch how you can't tell her nothing. She gets offended if you tell her anything. And my son is now buckling up with that mess. I do not like that. He's buckling up with that mess, not even understanding. Let me show y'all what the father told me. He said, Deborah, she is sold over to the system. There's no way out. There's no way out. Not even for my own son. Because he had before he married her, he had 5 years to flip her to his Yah, and he didn't. He chose her God, which is nothing. Her system. So that's where he's at now. If you say something, they get mad. You see? Don't you know, I done had enough babies. I can tell you something to last you the rest of your life. When it come down to babies. See, they got them thinking that they don't know nothing. We in this time, they was in back in that time. You see, you can't teach them nothing. Like the order said, mothers teach the young women. We can. Father, how is it that we are to teach the young people and they can't be told? You can't talk to them. You can't do nothing because they on all this media and on this TikTok and YouTube and Google, trying to find every issue to solve how they raise their child. I see that even with eating food. You don't buy all this food that come in boxes. Get your tail on to the store and bring food and cook for your husband. Too lazy. You can't teach him nothing. You can't teach him to cook. And then the men follow right into it. Not understanding you fall into a system. So if my son, which he will think that I'm the bad one because I'm saying something. But it's no, baby, you the one sold out to the world. You sold out to the system, not your mama. Because to tell you the truth and shame that devil that's living in you now, I tell you. The elders, the mothers were supposed to teach the daughters. Not AI, not Google, not TikTok. So you out of line and don't know it. You see what I'm saying? They don't have no sense of why we as elders or mothers can't teach these daughters. It's not in them to learn. It's the only thing they want to learn by. It's the only thing they want to be by is a system. And the moment you say something, I mean, person. Women couldn't teach these kids. Just why? Women, young women out here the way that they are. Nothing. Why is it? Could Sister Deborah sit here and tell you, you can't teach them, you can't tell them nothing, they get mad? No. 19 verses in your study guide telling you, prophesying what Yah said and John in Revelation said that it's going to be in the days with the children. So it ain't got nothing to do with the mothers not doing what they supposed to. Do what they supposed to. It's so control according to what was prophesied. The children ain't gonna even have to hear what the parents are saying. They gonna be disrespectful, disobedient, and they thinking I'm wrong, so they ain't talking to me. Oh no, he's talking to you. Because y'all have lost your way. If my mother had to tell me something about my children, I would not buckle up to her. What you do, you take what she say, you apply it, you put it in where it needs to be, and you just either let that be that, or you add to it, or you take away from it. But you don't go getting mad and buckling up and don't want you to say nothing. Oh, this said this and this said this and this said. You sold your soul to the system. One, sold yourself to the system. This is why I know for a fact that when y'all said it was over almost 3 years ago, it's over in trying to work with people, deal with people, communicate with people, even being in the midst of people, or doing anything. Family, friends, people, it is off the chain. So take a time and do a lesson on the children that has been prophesied, how their spirit and their flesh and their spirit is going to be conducting themselves in this day and time. Because a lot of women really think that they done that they just so overwhelmed by the fact that these adult children are like this. They just can't put two to two together. But it's going back to, like the father said, leave dark with dark. They don't know me, leave them with dark. Let dark take care of dark. Let the world take care of its own. I get it. And this is why they're out here like that. But with me, with mine, let me show you what he showed me. He said, now, Deborah, you already know that I told the elders and the mothers to teach the young ones. This is why all these generations are lost. It wasn't that because nobody, that you couldn't teach. It wasn't that they weren't teaching them. They can't be taught. That's where all the prophecies come in and say the way the children going to be. And the world expecting the mothers to deal with what was prophesied that cannot be, but they waiting for the mothers to be what their study guide told them cannot be. So how is it the mother going to make something work when the word has, not the words in their Bible has told them the prophecies? The prophecies is also part of the life. If it tells you these children are going to be this way and this way towards you and then, how are you going to be able to teach them anything? See? He said it was already prophesied. That's why they like that. That's why they don't listen. That's why they're not going to listen. So all the times you heard the women say that, this is why. In the first place, they said that the mothers are single mothers and the mothers didn't teach the daughters and the parents, it's parents' fault and the parents die. Sit y'all dumb tails down. Go back to what he said. That's the world spilling all that trash out because they don't know no better. They don't know the prophecy told them that the children was going to be this way. And he wasn't talking about the little babies. He's talking about the teenagers and the adult children of these parents. And this is where he got me. He said, Deborah, you never did give it a thought. I said, as he said that, he had already felt what he was talking about. He was talking when he said you ain't even never gave that a thought. I said, I know I didn't, but I knew that was in there. You know where it says come out of her, or you will and shall receive her plagues? It's actually warning to come out of a system that's set in a way of destruction. Come out of her. It's a system. It's a way that's hard for people to even pull out of. That's why he ain't putting so much weight on coming out, because many won't come out. They too far in that you may not receive her plagues. The system. There is a system that everybody is using to live their living. They turn to it every day, all night, throughout the day. They believe in it. They trust in it. They can't live without it. Everything surrounds this system. In the way they think, the way they function, the way they work, the way they move about, the way they do this, the way they do that. It's a system. And he said, come out of it. He know you ain't going to come out. That's why he didn't use it in any other way, any other verses or chapters. Just let it land right there and pour it up and pour it out. because many don't understand what he's saying to me. She thinks she raising the children in the system of the world. That's a system that belongs to the world. You didn't chose to raise your child in a system, and the system gonna raise your child. They already done raised you. They got you. They're gonna raise your child, because everything that you do, you're gonna turn to the system. And like there's a picture on my television where this lady was saying, and my son was over here. He said, "Oh, look, that's AI. That's AI." Bro. A system. A system is a system. But when you in the spiritual realm, you don't serve these things as a system. You still serve Yah, and the system cannot be erased. The whole system is on your phone. The whole system is on your phone. All on your TV, your laptop. He ain't telling you to take the system and come out of her by closing everything down. Come out of her here, where you got this trust and this belief, where you got day by day you turn to it, day by day you live by it. You got to go by it. You got to go do it, and you got to be about what it's telling you. You believe it. Look at everything on this system telling you from how your hair can grow. You got about 1 million people telling you all kind of lies about all kind of things that they making for your hair to grow. Everything from your blood pressure pill, everything from heart attacks to strokes, everything of how to take a bath, everything of how to strengthen your eyes, everything of how to get parasites, all over. It is a system. And you can find yourself trusting in this system so much that you can't come out. Everything that you do is dependent on the system in which you trust in. And then the system becomes you, and you become the system. That's when you have lost your spiritual way. And this is what he's meaning when he said, come out of her. Because you come out of a system because you're spiritually in the spirit realm. You need to come up out of that system that's a worldly system. That's what he said. Come up out of that worldly system. Stop depending on that system. Stop trusting in that system. Stop believing in that system. Stop turning to that system. Stop walking with that system. Stop talking with that system. Stop living with that system. And none of you know what the rest behind I'm talking about. You see? This is what he meant when he said, come out of her. And those, it's too many that's not going to. That's why he didn't put so much emphasis on it. It's just found in there one time and he left you alone. Because he know you ain't coming out. That's your whole world. It's the system. Okay? So I like to get into my, and that's what he nailed it with. He say, she's locked into the system. And she has locked him into the system. And I knew she locked him into the system when he started to fall away from spirit and truth. When he started to get away from the light. And everything is pinned in and based on what she said and how she said to do it and how she see it. And what they do is they try to make you the bad one so they can live the wrong, the what they call the right one. But see, in it, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna show you how I can cancel out everybody that's been on Sister Deborah's platform. Anytime you're able to think that you can put the light out, that you may walk in whatever that's out here, you are 100% the serpent seed. Too many people come on this platform. They work very hard trying to find something that they can bring sister down into the level of their darkness. You see? They would try until they can get something within them to tell them that I can bring her to this level. All I have to do is keep watching, find faults, find her wrong, find her way of saying things, saying the way she do things, the way she teach things, and I can bring her to the level of darkness so I can appear to be the light. That's what it's all about. People are out here trying to make the servants of the Most High Yah the worst of the worst, just so they can live in their darkness where they are comfortable. You can live in your darkness. You don't have to be on this platform where Sister Deborah's at. It's plenty. It's millions of platforms. I don't understand why people just don't go on over there where they feel comfortable in their flesh. You see what I'm saying? So this is how they would do it. They would nitpick and find and wait for Sister Deborah to say something that triggers them to make them go away and have just reason to walk away. But the Father said the door is always open. Because you ain't walking from her. You done walked away from me so many times. You don't even know if you in the door or out of the door. If you in the house or out of the house. You done walked away from Yah so many times. So walking away from Sister Deborah don't mean a rat's behind. Y'all butts has walked away from Yah 24 and still walk away and think you can just ride on back up and it's gonna be okay. No, it ain't, baby. So I want to go into this message here that he has no respect of persons. And I think a lot of people have it mixed up. You got it bent up and bent out, but I got to bring it on in. I got to give it to you where the spirit and truth rest in it. The title of this message is No Respect of Person. Yah has no respect of person. Let's go to Colossians chapter 3 and verse 25. And it reads, But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he has done. And there is no respective of persons. Let's go to Romans chapter 2. Let's go there and see what it says. So let me read this over again. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he has done. And there is no respect of person. Now let's go to Romans chapter 2. Let's go there. And chapter 2 of Romans and verse, I think 11. In Romans chapter 2 and verse 11, it says, For there is no respective of persons with Yah. There is no respect of persons with Yah. I want you to understand that. Let me go to Galatians. Let's go to Galatians chapter 2 and verse 6. We're going to cover that one too. Galatians chapter 2. Chapter 2. Galatians. Galatians chapter 2 and verse 6. Galatians chapter 2 and verse 6. I'm just seeing what it's saying. But of these who seem to be somewhat, whatsoever they were, it makes no matter to me. Yah accept no man's person, for they who seem to be somewhat is conference add nothing to me. Okay, it means nothing to me. Okay, so we're dealing with no respective person. He's dealing with the flesh. When it come down to that fat flesh, all flesh that does wrong is going to pay the penalty of wrong. The flesh has to pay the price of sin. Okay? Yes, it has to pay the price of sin. And what is the price of sin to the flesh? Death. 6 foot under. Go back to the dirt. You can end up straight to the dirt. Flesh, Yah has no respective person when it come down to the flesh. That's what he's talking about. The flesh. Everybody in the flesh receive the flesh reward. You see? Everybody in the flesh receives the flesh rewards, because we all what? Die and go where? To 6 foot under, to the dirt. He has no respect of person. Anybody do wrong, the judgment is set for the spirit that done wrong in the flesh. Anybody do right, the judgment is set for individuals who done right in the flesh. See, a lot of people didn't know. The things you do in your flesh really identify who you are in your spirit, outside of sin itself. That's why he says sin no more. Because you become a new creature. Old things pass away. So there is some reaction that's different in those who are born of the spirit. Because they don't go out here doing all this stuff that they used to do and they once used to do, now that they have the Holy Spirit in them and they are new creatures. Because the Holy Spirit ain't going to let them do it. But those who are born of the flesh, they're going to follow every way of the flesh. And the flesh is going to follow every way of their spirit that has been born of the serpent seed to do as it please. But him having no respect of persons when it come down to the flesh. Yeah. Anybody that done wrong, we're going to all be judged based on our wrong as well as what we've done right. That's just. That's what you call righteous. But persons, meaning as flesh, there's no respect of person when it come down to the flesh. We all have sinned and come short. And we all going the same place. Say, for instance, when we be changed, the flesh still goes back to the what? The earth, the ground, die. It goes back. It's showing you that we all still the same when it come down to the flesh. So it's no respective of person when it come down to it. So Sister Deborah, like I told y'all, I never was a person that hate white or hate black or hate any other race. To me, I never really, I just never seen to be caught up in the colors, in race, I was never that type of person. Do I see it, what's going on today? Yes, I see it in a way that I never seen it before. That's why I say something about it. Because when I was, coming up, all this stuff going, stuff like that, and in me, and things that I just had never experienced it, but it is so clear as day today. You see? So, I hope you got something out of this message. And the title, No Respective of Person. Yah has no respect of person, because he's speaking of the flesh. Okay? Only in the flesh. We all do wrong. We're gonna be judged for that wrong. We do right, we're gonna be judged for that right. But where will we be judged? In the spirit. It ain't gonna be because you white and you black. No, y'all ain't gonna play that. That's why it's such a dangerous thing for white people to have the spirit that they have in this day and time. because it tells the whole story of what is resting in there. Y'all get what I'm saying? And then when I was going back to the prophets and they were talking about it, I'm like saying, okay, you talking about the Gentiles and the heathens, and how you gonna I had never really focused on how he's really it's gonna do a work with them. I mean, destroy them. And he makes it very clear and make it known. Y'all said. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Now you really gonna throw down. Yep. See, everybody thinking in Amos, in Joel, in Zacharias, in I said Amos, Joel, Daniel, Zacharias, Jeremiah, Isaiah. I mean, they actually talking about how he's going to destroy these people who are acting a certain way with his people. Now, it's which people are he's talking about? The spiritual people that is connected by race with the tribe of Judah and Israel itself. You see, in Israel itself, I heard a man break it down and said what Israel represent. And I thought that was really neat how he broke it down. And he said, it's not a people. Israel is not a people. He was talking about how Jacob used to be Jacob and he turned his name to Israel. It had 3 parts to it that mean something. That's why he was called Israel. Okay. So that's why I was saying that when you're going to come to realize that a lot of this trash that people have been speaking is trash, and trash indeed it is. Okay. So Sister Deborah, and I'm going to cut out here because I don't want my videos long at all. And I hope you got something out of it. And I appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in. And I will be back. Shalom. And the topic was, again, no respect of person. Shalom.